welcome. We are FabLab Barnstaple and you're at the Barnstaple base, and we are today just giving you a talk of your A to C's of wellness, and we're going to talk to you about the letter Y. And we have decided to go for Y, U and yellow, and the reason why is because yellow can bring a lot of joy. It's associated with warmth, the sun, bring brightness into your life. It can elevate happiness levels. Some studies believe that colors can affect mood, however, not all studies prove that. But we're going to focus on just having a little bit more sunniness in one's life at the minute. We are going to walk you through today just a quick vinyl workshop of just setting up the things, the wellness of just completing a project, and I find vinyl very comforting in the fact that it's a repetitive process. So a lot of people find knitting, sewing, just baking, some of those repetitive moods of like kneading, ceramics, anything that you kind of are using your hands for, that you're just continually just sitting there and having some peace and a moment of time to yourself, promotes wellness and meditation and just general well-being. So welcome, and we're going to get started. To get started, we're just going to use a program called Inkscape, of which you can download for free online at home, and it's a great tool to create designs with. So we're just going to find a JPEG or PNG to copy for the second. So we're just going to have a look for some tulips. That's what we're just going to look for right now. So once we find one, we're just going to copy and paste that in. We're going to trace the bitmap. So under path, go to trace bitmap and have a play around with the brightness threshold until you are happy. And that is now changing your JPEG from a JPEG to a vector, which you can then use to cut out things with. So I'm just doing some really easy programming under object. I'm just doing some copying, rotating, flipping against the horizontal line, and making things larger, giving things a translation. So under object, you can find a lot of the rotation tools, transforming tools like scaling, rotation, aligning. I'm then just going to duplicate. So under edit, duplicate, or just copying and pasting with your keyboard, aligning everything and making sure it's got that mirrored effect, flipping it upside down and creating a sort of loophole. So for this one, we are just making a design to be cut out in general. So once you've exported your Inkscape design as a PNG or JPEG, you can import it through onto Cut Studio, which is the vinyl cutting software. I'm just importing in, grabbing the image outline, playing around with the darkness, lightness threshold to see what contour lines I like best, pressing OK, then playing around with scale. There's rotation on the right hand side, there's positioning, formatting, all the additional extras. Then under object, you can find align, mirror, grouping, and on the left-hand side, you can find some circle tools, text tools, a lot of basic shape tools. So that's our design finished, and we're now ready to cut out. This is how our vinyl machine looks, and our laptop is now connected to the machine. We're just playing around with selecting the roll, so we're going to put in a piece of material. So we are choosing yellow, the vinyl material. You can see our sticker from one of our designs on top of the machine actually. We're playing around with the force, so making sure that our knife is going to cut in at the force that we desire. The machine is just now going to press OK, and we're just going to So we talked a little bit before about the process to make the vinyl sticker. However, now we're just going to look at some that we have here, and this is one I kind of get started on earlier. So you can see that I've started to unpick some of the design. We've left quite a bit to just show you sort of how it goes, and we're just going to sit here and do a bit of unpicking. We're not going to do the whole thing, but just to see how it can be a repetitive process, the comfort of just sitting down, having that unpicking process is something that we're going to encourage. So we're just going to look at our design. I'm going to try and do it facing the camera. It might be a bit tricky. getting one up, using your stick, and then picking it up with your tweezers like so. Right. And as I just sit here and do it, I'm just going to gently pick them up, stick them on my finger, and then keep going. So it can be quite nice and calming, I'd say. You just sit here and you just make sure your design is perfectly unpicked, and then after you just end up with a perfect design that you can then stick onto something and just remember that you did something fun today, a bit calming. So that was our A to Z of well-being, yay and yellow. If you are close to Barnstaple Library, make sure to pop in. We are giving away some free yellow vinyl stickers from January the 20th until February the 10th. So you can take them home and weed them out at home using a needle, a toothpick, or some tweezers. Anything sharp, just be smart. Alright, enjoy!